So I have a priest friend who likes to use today's gospel as a basis for reminding his parishioners from time to time that his preaching should make them uncomfortable. And they shouldn't always leave church simply happy and off they go. He says it should make them uncomfortable because it also makes him uncomfortable. I remember when I was in a parish in North Carolina, I was walking through the lobby outside the church, and there was a parent sitting on the couch there, waiting for her children to come out of catechesis. And she looked up to me and she goes, "Friar Mike, do you have a minute?" I said, "Certainly. How can I help you?" She goes, "I want you to know not everybody in this parish loves your preaching." And I said, "Okay, this is going to be a good one." So I took a seat right next to her. And I said, "Help me understand." And she goes, "Well, not all of us agree with that gospel of Obama that you're preaching." And I said, "The gospel of Obama, help me understand what it is that I'm preaching, that you're titling that way." And she went on to describe for me the perfect, most succinct understanding of Catholic social teaching and the common good. And I was listening to her, and when she finished, she goes, "Now, what do you think of that?" And I said, "I think you shouldn't be sitting here like this. You should be inside that catechesis classroom teaching, because you have a great understanding of the common good." And she looks at me and she goes, "Yeah, I don't think I believe in that." My brothers and sisters, that's the context of today's gospel, but in Jesus' world. As he comes to his apostles and he says, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace, but the sword." What Jesus is talking about here isn't that he's coming with an intention to cause division in a bad way or a malicious way, but instead because people had become so selfish that they no longer put God first in their lives, and they lost their moorings as to love of God and love of neighbor, which is very much expressed in the common good. Who is my neighbor becomes a question that is paramount for us to answer, and to answer honestly, from the perspective of Jesus and the gospel and the teaching of the common good. The difficulty is the answer for who is my neighbor becomes very narrow and limited in a world that is very polarized. My neighbor are with those who agree with me here, or if I'm over here, those who are over here. And that is not the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's why he comes to bring division, because he's uncovering that difficulty that already exists, if you will. There is one friar who came to me and he says, I don't know that I can preach the social gospel as the church teaches it, because I'm afraid that it's going to divide my parish with the left and the right in our political understanding of things today. And I looked at him and I said, it is not going to divide your parish. The parish is already divided. If anything, like a good psychologist would say, you're uncovering it so that you could actually talk about it by preaching it, and come through, as Jesus is asking his disciples to do, to another side with the people, a center, if you will, of living the gospel of Jesus Christ, rather than polarizing and living in our selfish world where we can't see the other as our neighbor. It's not the gospel of Obama. It's not the gospel of Trump. It's not the gospel of Fox News or the gospel of CNN, but the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think the question for all of us today in a hyper-polarized world is, how much time do we spend with our gospel? What is our gospel? If we spend or log more time in a day with the gospel of Fox, CNN, Trump, or Obama than we do that of Jesus Christ, then Jesus has a message for us in today's gospel. I come not to sow peace, but division, to uncover the problem so that we might begin to reset ourselves and come to understand truly what the common good is, how it is we are to love God and truly love our neighbor and to realize who God and who our neighbor actually is. And my sisters and brothers, in today's world, if we truly wrestle with these questions and engage the gospel of Jesus Christ as he offers it to us, it should make us uncomfortable. Amen.